Welcome to an introduction to accounting and to Quasar accounts, which is an accounting program which runs under a Linux system. In this podcast we are going to look at actually putting in individual accounts into our nominal ledger. If we start by referring to the account list, these are basically our broad types of accounts. We are account type list. We can see that I've divided them into assets, inventory, accounts receivable, current assets, and so on. These are the broad types, and I've got them into different categories: assets, liabilities, equity, and income statement accounts. And I've used different numbers so I can set up fixed asset accounts within the range of 0010 to 0999. I can set up inventory accounts in the range of 1000 to 1099, and so on. So that's the way in which I've got this set up. So what I'm going to look at today is the accounts, here we are, the current assets at a range which starts at 1200 and finishes at 1999. So I'm just going to minimize this window for a moment, and you can see that so far I've got in a number of different accounts, and to add them, this is from my account list. I go to new, and you can see it brings me up an account master. It's going to ask me for the name, and the first one I'm going to give is the bank current account, or the checking account. So I type that in, and I'm now going to give it a number, and I'm going to start at 1200. I now need to give its type, so if I press F9 it brings me up with a list that I can choose from, and those were the account types that I'd set up. So I'm going to set this up obviously as a current asset, so I've selected that by clicking on it, and I'm going to save that. And you can see it now puts it down in this list at the bottom as a current account. So I now want a new one, and I'm going to add the bank savings account. I'm going to tab across. I need another number. Obviously I'm going to give it one which is fairly close, so I'm going to, let's go back on that. I'm going to give that a number of 1210, and remember the next one we press F9 for lookout, F10 for edit, and so on. We're going to do F9. Click on it, F9, and we will select our current assets again. We save that, and we've now added our savings account. And I'm going to add one more, I think, on this, just to make it quite clear what I'm doing. I'm going to add a petty cash account because we'll be using that later. And because I know I've got to put one more in, I'm going to leave some space. So I'm going to call this 1250. Go to there, click on that, press F9, select current assets, save it. Now you may wonder why I left that one, and that's because there is one more account that I'd like to add, so we'll do that. It's new. This was going to complete all our cash accounts. So we have cash on hand, which is sometimes referred to as the cash we actually carry on the premises, but not petty cash, in other words cash in the till or anything like that. So 1240 will be suitable for that. Then select F9, current assets, save, and we'll leave it at that for the moment, right? So I've now got a list of my cash accounts under current assets, right? So I'm building my accounts up slowly, right? Obviously I've still got to do liabilities, equity, and all the other income statement accounts. But that's adding accounts with Quasar Accounting, an accounting program for Linux. Thank you.